Hello everyone, welcome to Intrinsic Intelligence YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss on microservice design patterns. We will discuss about integration patterns. Let's move on. So integration patterns can be largely classified into API gateway, aggregator pattern, client-side UI composition. So let us see what are all those in detail in the upcoming slides. API gateway. As we all know, API gateway is one of the mostly used pattern in microservices, without which microservices design patterns or creating of a microservices won't work. So API gateway is a single point of entry for all the client requests. Consider whatever request comes from the UI, it goes via API gateway. Then it goes API gateway redirects the request to the respective microservices and gets the response back and returns the response to the client requesting. For example, a request from a UI or a downstream system. So it won't allow a client to call the microservices directly. So API gateway reroutes the request to this. So this is the example. So a web client, mobile client, and partner API are the ones triggering the request. When the API gateway run through, API gateway does the authentication, routing, and rate limiting accordingly. So all the configurations of the rate limiting or authorization using Spring Security or OAuth or key store would be validated here. And then routing to the service like user service, order service, or payment service will be redirected accordingly. Integration patterns. Let's move on into aggregator pattern. By the name aggregator, what it does is like it aggregates the data from all other microservices and provides the response back to the client. So there is a problem in microservices as we have a number of microservices. Two, three microservices have to coordinate, get the business logic, and provide back the response in an aggregated way. So aggregator is a separate microservice or component which manages the multiple downstream microservices and gets the response as a one unified response and give it back to the client. So when the client requests, the request goes via API gateway to the aggregator service. This calls to the all other microservices like review service, pricing service, product service, aggregates the data and send back to the client. So what happens if one of the microservices out of three goes down or something? We have to implement circuit breaker. Here and then we have to take care of those scenarios. Now, the third and the final one is client UI decomposition. So client side UI decomposition takes different approach than the aggregator pattern. So what happens here is, so here consider like UI such as Angular or React, it has different single page applications, which we call it as single page applications. According to the UI, we can group it all the API requests into a single microservice. So each microservices is not just providing the data or a UI fragment. So it independently provides APIs to a certain component in the UI or for the entire page. In UI, we can consider like similar to microservices, there are micro frontends. So it will provide for each micro frontends the group of API calls together and group together and then render the data in the web page. So this is how it is. So this from the browser, this is a nav fragment is a micro frontend, product fragment is another, and cart fragment. So each calls to the respective backend microservices and gets the API response. So for example, the product fragment micro frontend, all the APIs will be served by catalog service. So this is how we group microservices according to the single page applications or for a particular component, or we can group together with the micro frontends. So this is all about it. Thank you for watching this video. Please do follow our channel Intrinsic Intelligence. Please like, share, and subscribe. That will provide us some motivation. Thank you once again for watching this video. Have a very good day.